Good morning, lovelies. ZoëTwoDots here with some more Pokemon Go goodness for you, and today is your ZTD news, your weekly wrap-up in news. So, as is tradition at this point, sorry that the news has been a bit late. We've had a couple of weeks of just like jam-packed news happening in other videos anyway, but let's get you updated. There's a fair few things to get through. First things first is just a massive thank you to all of the lovelies who have been supporting with the new merch, the We're Not Dating meme merch, and even just grabbing the, the ZTD logo stuff. I really appreciate it. Links for all of that are always in the description. And we're actually working on a whole bunch of new designs to come out in time for Christmas and Black Friday sales and things like that. A new Not Likely shiny pin, I think, is in the works too. I don't say I think, I mean, I know it's in the works because I made it, but some fun things coming very soon too. And additionally, thank you so much to everyone who has joined on for Patreon. Your support over like the last couple of months and just seeing that influx of new support is so crazy. I appreciate it immensely. So thank you so much for your support. And yeah, I hope to keep delivering the goods for you guys. First little bit of news is kind of just in a fun side project. I was contacted by some trainers about a project that they're working on called Under the Truck. It's kind of like a fan-made documentary about Pokemon and the history of Pokemon. I don't want to give too much of it away, but it's a really cool seeming documentary that they're working on themselves, funding themselves. So I'll put a link to the Kickstarter in the description down below and to also their trailer video. It was really well done, really well put together, and I'm curious to see what they found. They went and interviewed Pokemon Company staff and things like that. So yeah, peep that in the description. Next up is a fun little one, and again, another link in the description for you guys, in that this website that was launched, kind of saw it popping around on social media because I do follow a lot of the Japanese Pokemon Go creators and trainers, and this really cool little AR photo website that will take your cityscape, take your landscape photo, take whatever it might be, kind of detect certain elements in the scene and then superimpose in a Dynamax Pokemon. So if you're not familiar, the game's coming out on the Nintendo Switch later on this year. Pokemon Sword and Shield are gonna have this feature called Dynamax Pokemon. It's kind of like Mega Evolutions, but a bit different. Instead of changing the actual form, it's like they get big, they get thick, extra power, attack, defense, things like that. But the program is really intuitive. It's really clever at actually finding and locating, like, hey, that's a car, a street, a bus, traffic lights, whatever it might be, kind of tracing out the right elements and putting that Pokemon in the background. It's quite fun. I did probably spend a good 30 minutes just uploading random pictures to see what I could do to it. Sadly, it struggled with my photos of the Sydney Harbour Bridge with like the gaps in between, but managed to make a whole bunch of fun other pictures. So I'll link that down below. I don't know if it works on desktop, but it's really easy to use on your phone. It is all in Japanese, but honestly, just look for the button that looks like a camera and upload, and then it's done, and hold down to save. Next up is the Safari Zone in Montreal is well on its way, with trainers from all around the world gathering together in Montreal for, like, look at these Pokestops. Thank you, Pokemon Master Holly, for letting me use these photos as well. Just absolutely lit up lines of Pokestops, luring in all kinds of Pokemon. I've seen so many screenshots of shinies, so congratulations to everyone who got some new shinies in the bag. And speaking of new shinies, shiny Yanma is now available. So that is spawning worldwide. Its spawns are increased all around the world. I haven't found my one yet, but I haven't really been hunting too hard today. So it's available, it's out there. If you see it, grab it. I think there were some reports right at the start of the event with Yanma still turning into Ditto, but that's been resolved, I believe. So no more Yanma into Ditto because it is now a shiny potential. Also, just check out these awesome photos of the community at Safari Zone Montreal. I'm very sad that I can't be there to celebrate too, but have an absolute blast, have so much fun, and thank you to everyone who has been asking for me and, asking the other squad, like, oh, is Zoe here? Like, can we get a picture? And thank you to the guys as well for sending a couple of videos over, being like, hey, we're at the Safari Zone, we miss you, that kind of jazz. It's very wholesome, and I'm sorry I can't be there, but thank you guys still so much for your support from across the ocean. I appreciate it. Next up is that our next EX raid boss is going to be Mewtwo. Mewtwo's coming back, so Shadow Ball Mewtwo is pretty much going to be our EX raid exclusive Pokemon, and it appears that going forward, if Mewtwo ever does come back, it is going to be, through EX raids that it can have the move Shadow Ball. So that's probably why we haven't seen it with the Shadow Ball move just in raids in general. It's an EX raid exclusive. I think it's really good timing that this notification came out before the end of regular Mewtwo raids. Just, you know, in case someone was waiting to like power up their shiny, you can now maybe get a shiny with Shadow Ball if you prefer that. Psystrike Mewtwo is still like pretty much the strongest generalist. So if it's neutral effective damage, it's still doing the most damage compared to any other Pokemon, excluding Deoxy's attack, but he's a little glass cannon. But Shadow Ball will still kill for the ghost type attackers. So keep in mind, remember guys, to check out your EX eligible raid like gyms, the gyms that are eligible to give out EX passes. Pretty much all you have to do to get an EX pass is to interact with an EX eligible raid gym. So you can do a Shinx raid at an EX eligible gym and get a raid pass for when that next wave goes out. They are free passes, so free legendary raids, which is pretty cool. So fingers crossed that you can get out there and snag one of these bad boys. So that'll be starting on September 25th, 26th, depending on your time zone. So Australians 26th, America's 25th. Keep in mind that if you have an EX pass, like that will be kind of like on the borderline of that day, it'll probably still be Deoxys. So keep that in mind. It might be that you wait until the next wave, but it's gonna be like as of the 25th, 26th, any passes you receive after that, that's gonna be Mewtwo. So shiny potential, Shadow Ball, Mewtwo, EX raids, get amongst it. Next up is for our community day, and that is going to be shiny Trapinch available. Now, before you have those flashbacks to hatching Trapinches out of the 10k eggs, like it was gonna happen anyway. We knew we were gonna get Trapinch at some point anyway for a community day. Its shiny is nice. So get out there, like shiny Flygon. Very, very nice. Flygon in general, pretty awesome. If you don't have a PvP Flygon, it's good. Grab yourself one. We don't know what move it's gonna have yet as well, so again, potentially it could push it even further into being an even more viable or usable Pokemon. It could spice up its, you know, usability in PvP as well, depending what it gets. But hey, new shiny Pokemon. I will be down in Melbourne for this community day, for Trapinch Community Day. I'll see you guys at Carlton Gardens from 10 AM. I know that our comm day doesn't start until 11, but we'll do some trades, do some photos, all that jazz. And then on that same day, I will have a panel at PAX about Pokemon. So do a little meet and greet, trades and all that good stuff. Carlton Gardens, 10 AM, see you there. Next up is going to be our next raid boss. So after, you know, regular Mewtwo, Psystrike Mewtwo bounces out, we're going to be seeing Giratina altered form. So the stumpy, the 4-leg one, is going to be our raid boss for pretty much a month. From the 23rd of this month until the 17th of October, we'll have Giratina altered form with its shiny available as well in raids. So now you might be thinking, but you know, like Origin form's like the really good one. I kind of want to save my raid passes for Origin form. It is an absolute beast for a ghost type attacker. However, if you have the chance to do a couple of these ones, you might as well try and get the shiny. And if not, if you do a couple of these raids as well, you can, I guess, stash the candies for powering up the Origin form later in the month. Well, I'm assuming. Fingers crossed. If it's pretty much the same as last year, we haven't seen it in a little while. If it's the same as last year, we'll have Altered followed by Origin, because that would line up nicely with the Halloween weekend as well. So I mean, stash the candies for when Origin form comes out, and most likely Origin will have its shiny available then too. And I believe Altered form is still like decent in PvP for like Ultra League and Master League as well, whereas Origin form just slaps in raids. I'm really actually like looking forward to this shiny. I think it's a really beautiful shiny. It's quite nice. And it reminds me, I don't know, like any other Aussie kids might remember, like Easter egg hunt day when you were a kid, and like you'd go for those ones in the blue wrappers, like the baby blue wrapped eggs, because they were like the white chocolate on the inside, and I went through like a really hard white chocolate phase as a kid. That's what Giratina shiny reminds me of, just like the little white chocolate wrapped in the baby blue foil. I love it, it's great. And lastly, Taiwan. So Taiwan, I'll be seeing you in pretty much a week. I'll be flying out a weekish from today to Taiwan. Gonna spend a bit of time catching up with the squad, checking out the sites, and then Taiwan Safari Zone. So fingers crossed, based off the poster, it looks like Oddish may be the shiny for Taiwan Safari Zone. Very nice, because Blossom is the cutest little shiny. I love it. And also Heracross is going to be the regional spawning in Taiwan. And I've never caught my own Heracross. They've all been traded to me, so thank you everyone who has ever, traded me one. But I'm so looking forward to catching my own. I'm gonna go absolutely crazy for Heracross. I'm stoked. But I'll see you guys there in Taiwan. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you going to Taiwan as well? Will I see you there? And lastly, let's jump into our AR photo of the week. So if you would like to have the chance to get your photos featured on ZTD News, be sure to use the hashtag ZTD News on Instagram so that I can find those photos and potentially share them with everyone as well. Keep in mind as well, guys, I do sometimes share photos after regular episodes. So at the end of normal episodes, I will just include if something's on theme. So for example, tomorrow I'm going to be hunting some shiny Yanma, doing some shiny Mewtwo raids. More than likely, if you have photos up of shiny Yanma and shiny Mewtwo, they're going to be snuck into the end of that video. So if they're on theme, if they're on topic, I do include them at the end of other videos too. And our first photo is from Pokemon London AR with this awesome Rayquaza. I just really loved how like the look of this photo and the color editing on this made it look like one of those old school paintings with these shadow textures, like the really dark foreground, and each mountain has its own layer of intensity, and like really love the color, really love the whole setup. 10 out of 10, thank you. Next up is Gorillapod GO with just a beautifully simple, lovely placement. P-Dove, one of our new Gen 5 Pokemon, taking the time to have a little bird bath here. So I love photos like this. They're just placed so nicely. All the consideration has been done for the shadows as well. It's not clipping over the edge. It's not hovering over the edge of the bird bath. It's perfectly touching each element. P-Dove looks like it's legitimately sitting there and having a great old time, so thank you, great placement. After that, we have got NPKMN with this photo of Leopard. Just again, I love NPKMN's color profile. A lot of the color edits that he does for his photos are just fantastic, really good depth to the Pokemon, and a great look at a new Pokemon. I don't have this one yet, so thank you for sharing it with us. And lastly is going to be Pokédex Kylie with this adorable photo of Togepi. And in the photo as well, it appears Togepi is really enjoying the Patreon postcards that I sent out last month. So thank you Kylie so much for sharing this photo and for sharing the photos with Togepi too. I really love how you paired together the pink flowers from my postcard with flowers of your own, and my favorite little good egg. So thank you for sharing, I appreciate it. And that is it for our photos for this week. So if you'd like the chance to get your photos featured, be sure to use the hashtag ZTD News on Instagram. Feel free to use the tag on Twitter as well. The Twitter ones won't make it into the video, but I will, it's where I usually do my sneaky retweets on Twitter for those ones. So let me know in the comments down below, what are your thoughts on this week's news? Are you excited for shiny Giratina? Are you keen on Shadow Ball Mewtwo? Are you looking forward to one of these Safari Zone events? What is on your radar for this week? Thank you so much for watching. If you are new, please be sure to subscribe. Thank you again to everyone who did leave a like on this video. And if you'd like additional ways to support the channel, links for Patreon and the merch are in the description down below. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful morning, noon, night, whatever time it is for you. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.